Hey guys, this is Telly, your local lender. I want to say a huge thank you to everybody who has reached out regarding my post on Facebook about sharing leads, anyone who came to my coffee to closing yesterday, and everyone who joined me today as we went through kind of the lead process. I really appreciate it. I've loved getting to know you guys, and I wanted to record this. I won't take too long. I'm going to try to go through it quickly just because there was some people who I'd been chatting with, and then you know how things go. Sometimes life happens, right? And weren't able to attend the video. I can't talk. Weren't able to attend the Zoom meeting today. Hence this video. That way you guys can go back to it. Last week, I did record something very similar to what I'm going to go through today, but I was really sick. It was like midnight. I wanted to get it done right before the weekend. And I was really unhappy with how that video turned out. There's so many things I forgot to talk about. So if you already watched that video, you could watch this one. You might still take away a couple new things. But if you missed that one, don't even bother. In fact, I'm probably just going to delete it off of YouTube because it was terrible. So real quick, let's just jump in. All right. There's a lot of stuff I want to share with you. Now, the first thing, the team. So I work for Cardinal Financial. Next month, it'll be 5 years with Cardinal. Now, unfortunately, my husband got diagnosed with MS about a year and a half ago. So because, there's just so much that our whole life kind of has had to change as far as like taking him to his appointments, his physical therapy, and just kind of being present more like at the house, being able to work remotely to be able to help out with him because it's just us and the kids. We don't have like full-time help for him. So I had to go independent is what it's called basically, which means that I'm still with Cardinal, but I've been with the Supreme team now for like I said, since right after he got diagnosed. And being able to be an independent loan officer, it has its pros and cons, right? So the big thing for me and my family is now I work 100% remotely. I work from my home office upstairs. Right now I'm working from my kitchen table. I like to go work from like coffee shops and stuff, and it's very flexible so that when those things come up with my husband, I'm able to kind of do that. The downside, I guess, to being independent is that pretty much like 99% of my business is all self-sourced now, which beforehand when I was in the office, Monday through Friday, it was just like Cardinal Financial leads coming in basically. But honestly, it was fine for me to make the transition because I have been in the mortgage industry now for like, I don't know, going on 8 years. Yeah, since like 2015. So a ton of my business was already kind of just coming from referrals and like little things that I was doing on my own independently. So making that switch for me was, it was a no-brainer. And it's come with its challenges, as you know, because I'm sure as a realtor, probably most of your business is just word of mouth and, basically hitting the streets and just grinding, and so a lot of the things that I'm doing are probably going to match up with some of the things that you're already doing. A little bit about me, right? So you already know, married. I have 6 kids. 4 of them we have full time. The other 2 are from my previous relationship, but we do have 6 kids, including a set of twins. So we are busy, busy, busy. I like to bring my kids with me when I'm going out and like doing content for social media, get them involved, putting them to work. And we like to do road trips. I personally love to cook. That is my passion. Feeding people is my love language. So I love, being in the kitchen, and I like to use food in my day job too. So like recently, if you missed it, I did my secret spice recipe, and I like put them inside of my brochures. So I like to, cook and kind of involve that with my work. A few times I've won top funder with Cardinal. That's always exciting. It's hard. It's hard to get top. I've been in the top like 5, top 10, lots of times, but I actually took number 1 3 times now. So pretty excited. And I've been in Maricopa since 2008, actually. So I need to change this because on the thing it says 2009, but actually I moved here in 2008. So it's been really great just, being here and seeing all the changes. Now, you're either on one side of it or the other, right? A lot of people are like, oh, this town is just getting too big and blah, blah, blah. But me personally, it's exciting. I like seeing all the changes. And what I really want to do is grow with this city that I love so much because, I am licensed to do loans in 6 states: Arizona, California, Oregon, Washington, New Mexico, Texas, and Florida, 7 states. So I have a license in 7 states. And that's great. I don't plan on letting any of those licenses go anytime soon, although it is a lot of continuing education every year, so I'm tempted. But I like being licensed in multiple states. But for the last year and a half, basically, since I've gone fully independent, I've really just been dialing it back and focusing my attention on this city and helping people in my community, especially when I look around me and I'm seeing like apartments pop up everywhere. And now they're talking about townhomes, I think. And, and new construction everywhere. It's like, wow, if people could buy, like if they knew, I won't say how easy it is because nothing worth doing is ever easy. But if people knew that they have options and that maybe home ownership isn't as impossible as they thought, then that would be so great. So I like doing community events just to try to get the word out there. And I want, with Maricopa expanding and growing and booming, why not, try to grow with it, So that has really been my passion and my focus. And whether you have been you're an OG like me and you've been here for like 15, 20 plus years, or you are a recent transplant to Maricopa, trust me, guys, this city is not slowing down anytime soon. And I would love to help you also grow your business. And we can do that together. So anyway, let's just talk about the technology first, because that is where I am getting probably the most questions. I know a few people are good to go. They've got the app. They can see their leads. Some people are already calling on their leads that I assigned to them, leaving notes. That's great. You don't have to be the most tech savvy person in the world to be able to do this. Excuse me. You really don't. And if you already have like a lead management system that you're using, by all means, keep using it. I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel here or anything like that. But I want to show you kind of where you're going to find the leads that I'm assigning to you. That way, So let's kind of go through it. It's 2 easy steps, okay? So the first step is the Cardinal Financial or Supreme Team app. This is nothing more than just a digital business card. So let me show you what I mean by that. So here's what the app looks like on your phone, right? On your home screen or whatever. This is the icon. That's what it looks like on my phone and on your phone. So if you're at lunch with somebody, or you're doing an open house or whatever the case, and you have somebody who's just interested in real estate, it doesn't matter if they're just vaguely thinking about buying, or maybe months from now, years from now, their interest level is kind of lukewarm, or if they're ready to go. Whoever it is, any contacts that you're going to save, like exchange numbers with, or give your business card to, like I said, doesn't matter where they are in the process, how serious they are, or what their timeline looks like. Anybody who you would ordinarily hand an actual physical business card to, I would really like if you could start getting used to doing this in addition to that, or maybe even instead of that. If you're like me, anytime someone gives me a business card, guys, if it's someone I seriously do want to connect with, I'll take a picture of their business card and save it real quick. Or I'll just put the number and email in my phone real quick. I'm not holding on to anybody's business card, sorry. Or it becomes a bookmark or something. But when you're giving a business card to someone physically, you don't know what they're going to do with that. They might lose it, they might throw it away. But if you do this, then you know it'll be on their phone. So here's what you do. You open up the Supreme Team app, click on Share Our App. Our, meaning you and me, our app. You put in that person's name and phone number. Email is optional. And there is a little section to put notes. So you can put it as detailed as you want. But if anything, I would just ask that you just put like, this person wants a call today after 6, or reach out to this person on Saturday, or mornings are the best time. Like if you, nothing else, at least put like a note to me of when to contact. Or if you leave it blank, then I'm not going to contact them until we talk, because again, I don't know anything about this person and what their timeline or what their goals are, So that's why you can also choose, see the campfires there. If you click on ASAP, I'm going to call it as soon as I get it. Soon, or then just not right now, right? Maybe it's someone you're just saving the number and it's probably not going to turn into a deal anytime soon, but you just want to save their info. Just click on not right now and hit send, and that's it. So when you do that, what happens? 2 things happen once you do that. It goes right into your pipeline, which is the second app, step 2. So that person gets added right into your database. So they're always going to be there, you'll always have that person's contact info. I'll get an alert that you added a new contact, and then I'll be able to see the note that you left as well. And then what happens on that, so that's what happens on our end, you and me. We'll have them in the database now. Now for the client, when you click on Share App, they will then get a text message that has your name, your contact info, and the icon, right? Let me go back a screen or 2. So you see how this icon right here has Supreme Team, but that's what you and I see when the client gets it. It's just going to have your company's logo, and it'll have your name on their home screen. So isn't that cool? So it kind of flips, right? On the back end, we see Supreme Team, but when the client gets it, it'll just say, so-and-so realtor, basically, with your logo. So now they'll always have your information, and then this continues on and on and on. So then like later on down the road, if they're trying to get someone in touch with their realtor, you might cross your fingers and hope that they still have your physical business card to give to a friend, but odds are they probably don't. So at least now they'll always have your app. It's not going to say anything about Telly or the Supreme Team on the person's phone. It's going to have your details. So isn't that great, guys? Now, it'll also put them right into your database, like I mentioned, which is step 2. This is the big one. This is where you're going to be using this to like work your leads with me. And here's what it looks like. It's called Lender Connect. It's purple and white. Now, here is that person that we just added from step 1. And then if you'd left a note, then here's the note would go right in there too. And it'll just be in a yellow new status tag when you add it. I'll have to change it, to like a prospect or application. If I take an application, I'll have to update the status tag later. But anybody that you add through the app, the Supreme Team app, is just going to come in as a yellow tag for a new lead, okay? And you'll use Lender Connect to see a list of everybody that you have. And all the status tags will be different colors, because that's another question that a lot of people are asking me. They would text me and they would say like, hey, Telly, what like stage are these people in? Have you pre-qualified them yet? Are they saving up down payment money? Are they credit qualified? So all you have to do, guys, is look at the color of the tag. So like I said, all the new ones will be in yellow. Any prospecting will be in blue. So the prospects, if they say prospects in dark blue, which right now, most of you guys, that's probably going to be 99% of the ones that are in there are going to be in blue. And those are people that either contacted me from like a social media post, or maybe I met them at like the market, the festivals, or they came to one of my coffee to closings, or they called me from like a Craigslist post or a radio ad, or you know what I mean? Like these are just people that have raised their hand and said, I'm interested. But like we haven't either we haven't talked or connected yet, or maybe we did talk or connect, but I just haven't taken an application yet. So they'll just stay in prospects until they, turn into like an actual pre-approved customer. And a lot of them, like I'll leave a note so you'll know where it came from. It'll say, met at Salsa Festival, was interested in buying within the next 12 months. Or it'll say, this is a referral from so-and-so, a previous customer or whatever. So you'll be able to kind of see, or like if it's a radio ad or whatever, like you'll be able to see where that prospect came from. And then what I would really, really like to do, like you can manage your leads, call your leads, follow up with them, text them, email, whatever. They're your leads, guys. Like you can work them however you want. What I would really like though is if we could get together every week. Maybe we don't need to get together every single week, but maybe in the beginning we should. Like whatever day works best for you, let me know. And just for like the first maybe month or two, let's try to get together and meet, and I'll pull up everything that's assigned to you on Lender Connect. We'll look at the list and then kind of just touch base on everybody, see how like, okay, this person's pre-qualified, what's the plan? Or, hey, there's this one that's still new. Have you been able to reach them yet? Like just kind of run through, and like credit issues. So if we pulled their credit and like they're working on it, I'll follow up with my leads too. But at least then we'll both know kind of what is going on with the status and just touch base. Here's the flow. So this is, kind of self-explanatory, isn't it? So when somebody starts out, they'll just be in a yellow tag for a new lead. And then, or if it was a referral from you, I'll change it to blue so that I know that you actually like found that client and you're the one that put them in there. And then once I take their application, I'll move it to green. And then from there, it could kind of go one of two ways, obviously, right? So let's say I took their application. There's some stuff they need to work on, maybe credit, or they don't have enough funds, or they don't, whatever the case may be, they're just not pre-qualified yet. Then I'll probably change it to the pink tag, which is credit issues, and I'll leave some notes as far as how the conversation went, homework assignments I gave them. That's what I call it. I'll give them homework assignments on what to work on, and I'll update you on that. So that could be one way that it goes, or it could go straight into that baby blue color, checklist sent. Checklist sent means this person has done an application with me. We have a game plan. I told them what they need to do and what documents I need. So for most people, it's just going to be like the basics: photo ID, last 30 days of pay stubs, last 2 months of bank statements, and the last 2 years of W-2s. Now, if they're self-employed, then that would be the last 2 years of their full tax returns. So that's, if you see checklists sent, those are like the next best thing to a pre-qual. Checklist sent means that everything sounds good. Their income that they told me, that they verbally told me, their income, sounds good, like they could qualify. That's what we call like just essentially being pre-qualified, right? You can get pre-qualified verbally based off of reviewing the credit report and having a discussion about income and assets and what they're eligible for. But being like verbally pre-qualified ain't shit, right? Like we all know people can lie, or not lie, but like people can overinflate things, or maybe they're, who knows? But nothing is concrete until we get the documents back. So the ones that are in baby blue that say checklist sent, those are the ones that we should be calling and definitely following up with hardcore to make sure that everything checks out and that they can actually get in the car and go start looking at houses. So after we get the documents, these next 2 steps go real quick. Loan setup and docs and review is just like background stuff that we have to do, submitting it to underwriting for pre-approval. That is something that we do on every single file. And the turn times for underwriting is only about 2 hours, give or take, as long as all the documents are in there. So if they gave me everything I asked for and I push it into underwriting within 2 business hours. So like if I get it in the morning, by lunchtime, they'll probably already be out of underwriting. Now, a lot of our underwriting and stuff and operations are remote. So if it's later in the day, that like maybe the underwriter is East Coast time, you might not know till the next morning. But like I said, about 2 business hours is the normal underwriting turn times. And then also we have to get background stuff like verifications of employment, maybe a copy of their tax transcripts if they're self-employed, or, like there could be, maybe we have to do this, just third-party authorizations and stuff like a CAVERS report and stuff like that. So we'll take care of all that. But like I said, those steps go pretty quick. And then it'll move into green, pre-qualified. So that's when okay, pretty much like 85% of the lending is already done at this point. We got the documents, we got the underwriting approval, we did all the third-party validations, for all intents and purposes, as long as they don't shoot themselves in the foot, this person's ready to close on a house. So it will be green, pre-qualified. And then after that, it will be in process, right? That's where you come in. You got the pre-qual from me. I get the purchase contract back from you. So take them out, show them homes, and get them under contract. And then purple, of course, would be a closed client. And we do like keep in contact. So they get birthday cards, they get a monthly home value report, they get like seasonal cards from Cardinal. Like we keep in touch with our closed clients in case they have referrals to share, or if they ever want to sell their house, and they are your client for life. So any of the closed business, we're still going to stay in front of them. And I'll always refer them back to you for any future needs. Here is, and you can pause your screen if you want. Here is kind of a little example of someone that closed. And these are the notes that you and I will see on Lender Connect. So like when they got pre-qualified and then they get under contract, and they have their walkthrough. I think this one was a new build, yeah. And then, so they got pre-qualified on the 9th, executed purchase agreement on the 29th, and then when the appraisal was complete on the 15th, when I think they were using their 401k as down payment, so their 401k liquidation was complete. And so it kind of just shows you how, when I ask people, and it doesn't matter if it's a loan officer or a realtor, if I ask them like, what do you think is one of the most, like the biggest challenge or frustration that happens on files. Like when things go sour, what usually causes that? And 9 times out of 10, it's communication breakdown. Well, they're not communicating, like, or we're just not all on the same page, or it just felt like I was having to hunt them down to get answers or to get updates. When you're in Lender Connect with me, that's why it's called Lender Connect. You're always going to be aware. Even if I just communicate with the client, I'll put a note, right? So like if the client calls me and wants to go over something or has a question about something, or if like there's a loan update or something like that, and we talk about it, then I'll go in there and I'll just put, hey, I spoke with so-and-so, went over, the expectations for the appraisal or whatever the case may be. And then I'll tag you on the note. That way you'll be like, oh, okay, Telly's talked with them about it. So you always know, and like it just keeps everything like super transparent and keeps everybody accountable. That way we don't run into any communication breakdowns. That's the goal, right? So let's talk about where the leads come from. Okay, I'm sorry. I have another Zoom in like 10 minutes. So my team is on a few different radio stations. So a lot of the blue ones that you'll see in your Lender Connect right now are from radio commercials and people that call in. Those ones are pretty good. They take sometimes, the average conversion on those is about at the 10th contact attempt. I don't know. I'm trying to think, when is the last time that I called from a commercial on something? It's probably been a while. But a lot of those people probably were in their car or something when they heard the ad and then they called, and maybe they're busy, maybe they're, like, I'm not saying that they're not serious, because obviously they cared enough to call, but those ones need like a lot of follow-up, guys. You definitely don't just want to give up on them, because sometimes what people do is they'll call on a commercial radio ad and then they'll be like, oh no, I'm sorry, I was, it was impulsive, basically. Like, I am interested, I don't know if I can do it right now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's more of an impulse kind of phone call or contact. So those ones, about 10 contacts is when we finally get a chance to like get their application. Now, if you have never called on leads before and this is all super brand new to you, let me know. I am happy to give you scripts, and it's nothing too intense. It'll just be like getting past that first 10 seconds of the call. Like, hey, my name is Lacey. I'm a realtor. I work with Telly with the Supreme team. You recently called from a radio commercial. I was wondering, how's your home search going? What can I help with? Or whatever, like just quick little couple lines, like maybe 2 or 3 sentences. I can give you scripts of what to say on the call just to get you past that first little, we call it riding the bull, just to get past that first little initial contact. So, they know that you're legit and why you're calling. And then I have tons and tons of those and text scripts too. Sometimes texting is the easier way. But yeah, those radio ads are popping off right now. That's why there's so many of them in there. And then of course we still do like Lead Pops, Zillow, Google ads, like the Supreme team of Cardinal Financial. I mean, I can't tell you how much my boss, Ricky, he's the one, he comes up with all that marketing stuff. So you'll see a lot of those in there. But me, being an independent loan officer, most of my business is just from things I'm doing on my own. So I still close deals from like the radio ads and Zillow ads and stuff, but most of my stuff is organic, I would say it's probably like a good 80-20 split. Like 80% of, excuse me, of my business is from word of mouth, referrals, doing coffee to closings, posting on social media and all of these things, like self-sourcing. And then maybe about 20% of my business is like just from the marketing that the team does. So that is a big thing. And let me show you. So when you do, like, say, take a social media post, for example, You could just put like your name and, hey, I'm a local realtor. Please call me if you are thinking about buying or selling real estate. And you could get people contacting you that way. But I personally find that I get way more engagement if it's on a specific, like if there's a call to action in the post. So like, for example, right now, a really big thing that I'm having a lot of success with is the new construction. There are so many brand new homes that are move-in ready that are priced to sell for sure. And I think that that is very attractive for a lot of first-time buyers who just want something that is like, they don't have to do any work. They don't have to kind of worry about that, you know, and if they're priced affordably, those are really good. So I've been doing a lot of like new home tours. I think I've seen just about all of the new neighborhoods and the model homes that they have, and I'll post those or take videos, and I'll get like 5,000, 10,000 views off of these videos. So I've been having a ton of people reach out to me on that. And then something I never ever stop doing is working with veterans. I love doing VA loans. So there's a lot of work I do with vets. And that's just something that's very near and dear to my heart, being the daughter and granddaughter of Marines. So I'll do a lot of VA specific stuff. But when you've been doing this as long as I have, right? I'm not going to say I'm an expert on everything. Of course not. But like, there's very few things at this point that I haven't done at least once or that I can't do. You know what I mean? Like, nobody is an expert on everything, but I can do pretty much almost every type of loan, every type of property, you know? So instead of being vague and just saying, call me for your mortgage needs, I like to just pick whatever I'm super passionate about or excited about right now and just go hard on that, you know. Last year when the down payment assistance loans were like firing off, that was pretty much for like 6 months straight. Almost everybody that applied was looking for DPA. And I'm still doing DPA, of course. But right now is this new construction. You could do DPA on new construction too. But I'm just saying, like, switch it up and go with your gut and what you're happy about and try to put that at the forefront. You'll be surprised how much more reactions you'll get from people if you keep it specific. And then, of course, I know a lot of you guys have more listings than you know what to do with right now. That is just the type of climate that we're in. And I can show you, like, if you're not already doing it, how to take your listings, or even if you just have one listing right now, how do you take that listing and get like 15, 20 buyers from the one listing that you have, you know? And if you're not into the technology or the social media, that's fine. I'll do it for you. Just send me like the address or the MLS for a house that you're trying to sell, and I will blast it everywhere. And I'll put your personal funnel on it. So a personal funnel, let me just explain that really fast. One sec. If a client goes to cardinalfinancial.com/teleavila, it takes them to my application page, right? Every lender's got one where they can apply online. Now, that is just going to have my name and my app. It's a full app. Like, there's a credit authorization on it that they don't have to fill that out, but it does give them the option to pull credit. And it probably, if they're doing it in detail, will take them like 10 or 15 minutes to complete. It's a full-on application. But if you don't want to share that with everybody, because not everybody's ready to go to that step yet, if you just want people to have a way to like kind of screen your clients, use your personal funnel. What that is it's kind of like an application link, but I think it's only 9 questions. It's like 9 or 10 questions. It asks for their name. It asks for how soon they'd like to buy. And it's like a sliding meter. So they just pick, you know. So, and then it says like, where do you think your credit is? And again, they can just choose kind of a range. I think it asks like how much what's a price range? I don't know, something like that, price range. But it's just like a quick little, almost like a survey, just to kind of gauge their interest level. And then, and that's it. And when they use your personal funnel, it is tied to you. So like, because if they go to cardinalfinancial.com/teleavila and they fill that out, I would have to then manually assign that to you. But if they go through your channel to get there, then it's going to go right into Lender Connect. It'll already be tagged to you and assigned to you. And we'll be able to start reaching out to that person right away. And I can make these custom sites for your listings. You might already have, professional photos, a professional website, marketing that you're doing for your listings, but there's a bunch of other places that we could be posting them and do different designs and stuff, more engaging ones. And if you want me to, we'll spend a couple hours going through it, and I'll show you how to do it if you're into that kind of thing. If you're not, then like I said, just send me the address or the MLS and I'll make them for you, and just kind of get more eyes on your listings, because there's not a lot of people coming to open houses anymore. I don't know what's going on with that, but everybody's got internet access. And then definitely don't knock it, but old school marketing. I love going door to door. Every single time that I actually invest an afternoon into going door to door, 100% guarantee I get a deal out of it every single time. Now, sometimes multiple, but if I literally take a stack of door hangers, maybe 50, 100, and just hit it, real hard, I guarantee I need to go do it again actually before it gets too hot. So if you want to co-design some door hangers that have both of us on it, we could do that, and we could hit the street, start putting those up. I like to I make these why rent door hangers and put them at the apartments. I've got a lot of clients that way. And then of course I always mail thank you cards. I do holiday cards in December. And then again in the springtime. That way I'm kind of talking to them twice a year. I'll do the one in December, and then in the springtime, I draw a little picture of a flower or a bumblebee or something, and I'll hand write them hey, happy spring. I hope your year's treating you great. Please keep me in mind if you or a friend ever needs to buy or refinance or sell a house, with my contact info. And I'll literally handwrite them and mail them out. And it's kind of time consuming, but you can always just do it maybe 5 or 10 at a time, over the course of a few days, and get those in the mail. That is always very fruitful. It's definitely not a waste to do it. You just have to do it. I know, to do it, you just got to do it. And then visibility in the community. So if I know that today is going to be kind of a down day, I got either I'm working on some content, or I need to do my LSUs or whatever, and I'm not going to be too busy on phone calls all day, then I'll just pick up my laptop and take it over to a patio somewhere, at a coffee shop or a bar or whatever. And I put this little sign in front of me that says mortgage question, ask me anything. That way, because if people see someone with a laptop, usually they don't want to bug them because they think I'm working, which I am. But if they see you with a laptop, they might not want to interrupt you. That's why I always put that sign up that tells people, yes, interrupt me. If you got a question, come talk to me. And then sometimes I'll put brochures and stuff out on the table too. But yeah, being visible in the community, whatever it is you're into, I'm in a book club. I coach sports here at Copper Sky. I do a lot of stuff around town now that I think about it. But I love it, and you don't have to be the most popular person in town to let the community know what you do for work, and let them get to know you and see if they want to work with you. I mean, Lord knows we have an abundance of lenders and realtors in our little town, but people want to know who you are, what you like, what you're into, what makes you different, because buying a house, it is an emotional call, 100%. Because I could sit there and give somebody all the data in the world, about why they should buy a house, why this makes financial sense. But if they're not ready to do it, they're not going to do it. Or if they don't like me or trust me, then they might go to somebody else. If like, you never know. Like, I have literally won deals before that I was not even the cheapest guy. Like, I know Cardinal's pricing is competitive, but let's face it, like, rates are rates and products are products, and there's not a world of difference between lenders. We're all pretty close, and like, I could play hardball and try to like go super low if I need to. Like, I can get creative, but pricing wise, rate wise, closing costs, like, it's, I'm not saying it doesn't matter. I'm just saying we're all getting these loans from the same place, right? So our pricing probably isn't that different. But I have literally just like, I'll just tell the story real fast. It was a very high price deal. It was about like 800,000 loan amount. I think it was like 1.5 million purchase price. This was in Florida. And I tried to win the business, and he was still shopping lenders. He ended up going through Bank of America, where he does his normal banking, and locked in. This was a couple years ago. So when he locked it, I want to say he got like 3.25 versus I think I was at like 3.5 or something, or 3.375, something like that. Anyway, he ended up choosing Bank of America, right? But then probably a good 3 weeks later, he calls me back up because they have been absolute garbage to work with. This was his experience. I'm not saying it's like this all the time with Bank of America, but anyway, he was just couldn't get in touch with his loan officer, didn't know what the hell was going on, felt like he was getting asked for the same crap over and over again. And they were just dropping the ball and leaving him in the dark. So I did his numbers again because we didn't lock a rate. So when I did his numbers again, it's been a few weeks, and his pricing was going to be like higher than what they gave him. But at this point, he didn't give a shit. He was like, Telly, you have been honest with me. You have made like, I really enjoy talking to you. I trust you. Let's just do it. And that's a big difference when it's a loan amount that size, even being off by like 1/8%, that's a big difference. But he didn't care. He was like, I don't care. I know you're going to get it done. So what, you never know. You got to put yourself out there is what I'm trying to say. Also, moving on, don't underestimate Craigslist. Craigslist is really good for, oh shoot, I got to get on this other Zoom. But Craigslist is really great. It's old school, I know, but you'd be surprised how many people from out of state are using Craigslist when they're looking at moving to Arizona, because they're probably not on our local like Facebook groups and stuff. So they'll go on Craigslist, and I get a lot of very A+ credit and like well-qualified people who go on Craigslist. You could just sit there one night while you're watching TV, maybe with a glass of wine or a bowl of ice cream or something, and be posting on Craigslist, do like 10 or 15 of them, and your phone will be blowing up the next day. Now, social media posts, what to post, that's up to you. You don't have to copy what I do. Like, do whatever works for you or whatever interests you. But if you want like informational topics to share, or you want some like statistics or like loan specific, credit specific, more informational based, I can get you those. I can do the templates for you and send those to you. Just let me know what it is you're looking for, and I'll make something up for you to share. Personally, I like sharing humorous posts. I feel like I could put the most detailed informational thing, up, and maybe get one person who likes it or comments. But if you do just like a funny meme or something, you'll get tons of engagement off of them. And that's what I like to do. I also like to be, I think you already kind of figured out, I like being involved in the community. Every year on 10/03, October 3rd, I like to do something that's just, it's not even for business. I mean, if I get business out of it, of course, yeah, but it's just from the heart. Personally, I like the fire department here is great. So 10/03, by the way, October 3rd, 10/03. 1003 is mortgage slang. It means a loan application. So like, hey, did you take their 1003? Did you do the 1003? That's what we call as an application. So on October 3rd, that's how we came up with that date to do something to give back to the community. So whatever it is you're into, like if you like working with dog rescues, or you are passionate about like the deaf community or the LGBTQ community or whatever, like we could find something here local that you can do on any day that works for you. And I think, but it has to be genuine. Like people know when you're full of it, so it's true. So definitely want to just choose something that you really are like, that means a lot to you. And so to summarize, guys, get familiar with steps 1 and 2, like the digital business card, Supreme Team app, and then how to view and manage your leads in Lender Connect. Call the buyers if you want to. I have a home office here upstairs with 2 desks, and it's soundproof paneling all on the inside. So if you want to come over someday and you and I can just hammer out some calls, we can like listen to each other. Like it really helps when you have someone there that you can it brings up the energy in the room, and we can just have a call session. And then or if you want to bring your team or other associates, we could get a room at the library or something and go do a call session. You can listen to me, I can listen to you, and kind of work from there. And then, yeah, don't just, take my word for it. Get out there and start bringing in your own self-generated business. And if you have always been a word of mouth agent, or maybe your company sets you up with your leads, that's great. But I think everybody who reached out to me, you reached out for a reason, right? It's because you want more business. Why not take that and add to it? Don't get left behind. And like I said, if one of these things or a couple of these things interests you, let me know. I can go through it with you guys, and we can make something great happen. So I really have to go. This is way longer than I thought it would be, but thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. Get in touch with me if you need anything. All my contact information will be below. And yeah, take care.